بابا المحاضرة الثانية هيومن بيولوجي يراد لها البيولوجي عادة يراد لها دراسة، تاخذون المحاضرات وان شاء الله على المستقبل انزلكم المحاضرة قبل يوم وحتى تقروها وتفهموها، ومن اطرح لكم الحكي بالمحاضرة ايضا تكون واضحة عندكم. Level of organization. The organization level started from the basic building blocks from atoms، يعني بناء الأساسي للوحدة البشرية أو الكائن الحي يتكون من الاتومز which composed from neutron و proton and electron. The first element found in living body: carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, phosphate and sulfate. Second molecules، هذه الاليمنت راح تكون لنا المولكيولز اللي هي bond to each other to forming molecules such as الجلوكوز، تكون لنا الجلوكوز اللي هو C6G12O6. and other protein and enzyme are living because they can do function. From these non-living molecules، هذه المولكيولز اللي هي غير حية، the living cells is found. Cells are the fundamental living unit of life. The third level from cells, the tissue, is a living tissue. Example, the accumulation of neurons, cells which make the nervous system or nervous tissue تكون لنا nervous system. The fourth organs, these the mass of different type of tissue like stomach containing nerve tissue in addition to other tissue. Fifth level system, organs working together forming individual. هذا توضيح آخر lower level of organization. This is the atoms, this is the molecules. Atomic and molecular level, molecules are made of atoms of element like carbon, nitrogen, hydrogen, sulfur. These non-living things combine to forming plasma, which is living matter of cell. All living things are made up of cells. These are structural and functional unit of life. Tissue level, the cells organized to forming tissue. This is the tissue. A tissue is a group of cells which are similar in structure and specific function. Organ level, many tissue combine to forming an organs which perform a particular function. Organ system level, group of organs work together to perform a live activity. For example, organ of digestive system work together to digest food. Organism level, several organ system together to forming a multicellular organism. The different organ system work together to keep the organism alive. This is comparison of features of prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. هذا ملخص للبروكاريوتيك and eukaryotic cells. النقاط المهمة بها: prokaryotic cells typical organism bacteria, arches. eukaryotic cell protista والفنجاي والبلانت والانيمال والبروتوزوا ايضا simple cells اللي هي unicellular. Typical size differ between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Type of nucleus is important. Nucleotide region, no real nucleus. real nucleus ما بها nucleus البروكاريوتيك no real nucleus nucleotide region aggregation متجمعة النيوكليوتايد ريجن متجمعة الكروماتين جرانيولز بالوسط الخلية فتكون النيوكليوتايد ريجين real nucleus with double membrane ال DNA circular in prokaryotic in eukaryotic linear molecules double strand DNA to forming chromosome which with histone protein cytoplasmic RNA protein synthesis coupled in cytoplasm RNA synthesis inside the nucleus protein synthesis in cytoplasm cytoplasmic structure very few structure high structured and highly structured by endomembrane and cytoskeleton cell movement flagella and made of flagellum flagella and cilia containing microtubule and phlebodia containing actin mitochondria non-mitochondria بالprokaryotic cells ما بها mitochondria prokaryotic cell بينما 1 to several thousand of mitochondria لأن الميتوكوندريا قلنا هي مصدر الطاقة ال ATP chloroplast ما بها chloroplast البروكاريوتيك بينما in algae and plant لأنه الإيوكاريوتيك cells قلنا البلانت تكون جزء من الإيوكاريوتيك cell organization usually single cells و single cell colonies higher multicellular organism with specialized cell division binary vision simple division بالprokaryotic cell eukaryotic cell mitosis and meiosis fission and budding eukaryotic cell structure eukaryotic cell structure cell not all the same structure three main region اللي هي النيوكليوس this is the nucleus this is the nucleus this is the nucleus this is the nucleus وcytoplasm this is the cytoplasm this is the cytoplasm هذا كله cytoplasm تسبح به هاي الأورجانيلز مالت الخلية والبلازما ممبرين plasma membrane cell membrane أو plasma membrane sometimes called plasma membrane function of a plasma membrane separate internal metabolic event from the external environment control the movement of materials into and out of the cell this membrane is very selective about what it allows to pass through this characteristic is referred to as selective permeability selective permeability through the cell membrane structure of plasma membrane it is bilayer lipid bilayer or bilayer lipid هذه lipid bilayer lipid from phospholipid with non-polar hydrophobic tails this is the hydrophobic tails this is the hydrophobic tails pointing toward the inside of the membrane and polar hydrophilic head forming the inner and outer surface of the membrane. This is hydrophilic head. Presence of variety of protein are scattered throughout the flexible matrix of phospholipid molecules, and this is termed the fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane. This is called the fluid mosaic model of the cell membrane. Chemical structure of plasma membrane. Lipid. Chemical structure of plasma membrane phospholipid bilayer. مو قلنا عليه polar head وhydrophobic tail. Polar head وhydrophobic tail. Phospholipid bilayer. This is a phospholipid. It has a phosphate head and two tail fatty acid chain. fatty acid chain واضحة أعتقد بالصورة أمامكم. Protein. The protein two type according to the location in membrane. According to the location in membrane. Peripheral protein attached. This is the peripheral protein attached loosely to the inner or outer surface of plasma membrane. This is the integral protein. This is peripheral protein والintegral protein, integral membrane protein, a transmembrane lay across the membrane extending from inside to outside. Function of transmembrane protein. Function of transmembrane protein. Channel protein. This is ion channel. This is ion channel. Protein channel وcarrier protein. Carrier protein. Channel protein, protein that provide passage away through the membranes for certain hydrophilic or water soluble substance such as polar and charged molecules, sodium, potassium, chloride and calcium. This is ion channel, exchange of molecules such as sodium, potassium and chloride and calcium. This is the second transport protein. Transport protein. Carriers protein that spend energy ATP to transfer materials according to the membrane. Receptors protein. This is the receptor protein. A protein that initiates specific cell response once hormone or other molecules bind to them. Membrane enzyme protein that are involved in chemical reaction. Anchor protein can physically linked intracellular structure with extracellular structure. Carbohydrate. This is the carbohydrate مؤشرة وواضحة بالملون. Membrane carbohydrate occur almost variably in combination with the protein or lipid in the form of glycoprotein. This is the glycoprotein and glycolipid. Glycoprotein function cell recognition and communication, modulators of cell signaling and cell-to-cell adhesion. glycolipid, this is أعتقد واضحة الجلايكوليبيد، والجلايكوبروتين أيضا واضحة. الفانكشن مالته glycolipid function, cell-to-cell interaction, immune response, و blood types و surface receptors.